Hello and welcome, it's Chris from Christopher Holt Training and welcome to this tutorial where we're going to expand on the scoliosis that we talked about. So before we talked about the hips and we have to position that bottom block. Now we're going to focus on the three blocks above. So if you haven't watched part one, please do go back, watch part one, and then this will be obviously part two that adds to it. So we're going to be focusing on the blocks above. And we're going to use very much the same principle in so much as there are four sort of movements that we need to be focusing on. So we're going to go through those but what we're going to talk about first is I'm going to recap on sort of these planes and the blocks that I talked about in part one, and then we'll get into the movements. If you've watched part one, you'll know that there are four blocks. So if you can imagine four bricks that need to stack on top of each other, that would be a natural upright posture. What happens in scoliosis is these blocks get sort of twisted and turned, and they don't quite sit on top of each other correctly. So they're all a bit sort of not quite aligned. So what we need to do, again, if you've watched part one, in essence, we need to straighten these up. And we need to do that using our own sort of mind, because we've got individual and specific aspects of our scoliosis. It's very hard for me to do it through a video. What I can teach you are the principles, and then you can go away and apply them to yourself. So what we're going to be focusing on in this one is the top three blocks. So in part one, we looked at the hips. Now the hips is the one to get right first, because what it does is it sets up the next three. Now, we're just going to be talking about the next three, so we're going to be using the seated position to sort out what the hips are doing, essentially. So we can, in a sense, when we're sat down, we don't need to worry about what the hips are doing because they should set themselves up. Muscles will relax because the hips are flexed, so it will be very much focusing then on the next blocks above. So all we really need is a seat or a bench, and then it'll be useful if you've got like a stick or a broom handle or something like that, because that's going to help anchor you in the position that you need to be in. So what we're going to focus on first is the seated position. So all we really need to do is sit yourself down, because in some respects it takes the hips out of the equation. So all you need to do now is just sort of line your hips up. It should be much easier now you're sat down because certain muscles are relaxed. So as long as you're not biasing one side, make sure you're sat with even weight distribution going through the left and the right side. And what we then need to do is look at those three movements that we talked about. So we've got the sagittal plane, front and back. We've got the frontal plane, left and right. And then we've got the rotation, which would then be twisting to the left and twisting to the right. Now we've got this to anchor ourselves. So what again we're doing is we want to then be focusing on this lumbar part of the spine. So we want to be sat upright. Again, we've got the distribution through the hips. That's even. So that block should be sorted. What we then might have is sort of this type of thing going on. So what we need to try and do is unwind that. So the first thing that we need to do is get that neutral part of the spine in position. So we need to possibly then tilt the hips so we get that neutral posture of the spine. Now again, I'm using this to anchor myself into the floor, and that's exactly what you can use it for as well. You can use the force of the arms to sort of try and push your back upright, which is the next one. So you might then have sort of a drop to the left-hand side. So it's very much using that left-hand side to pick you up, so you come out of that sort of frontal position, which would be dropped to there. So we then sort of use the arms to lift you up. So we're helping that position. Now obviously there's going to be muscle tightnesses, it's going to feel very uncomfortable, but that's very normal. It's just very much, as I mentioned in part number one, it's the essence is you need to be upright. So that's what we're trying to create. It's just your muscles aren't used to that. So we've got potentially a drop on the right side, so we're lifting that back up. We're maintaining that neutral posture, and then if we've got, not only are we dropped to the left, but we're round to the left as well, we're coming up, and then we're trying to rotate back round. And again, we can use that to hold you in that position, because your body is going to want to drop into there. But what we're doing is pushing you back out of that. Now, you're not going to be able to come up into the position I'm in potentially first time. It might well feel very awkward, but it's very much being in a better position than you were before. So we've sort of looked at, we've got there, down to the left, and then round. So again, it's lumbar spine, it's then upright, and then twist out. So those are the three movements that we want to be focusing on. So what I'll do now, you've seen it from the front, if I do it from the back, so you can now see, so again, I've got even weight distribution through my hips. So I've got there, I'm rounded, I'm dropped, and I'm rotated. So what I need to do, number one, is get that position at the hip. Number two, I need to push myself up. And then number three, I need to rotate myself back round. So it's rotation, frontal, sagittal. So I go sagittal, front and back, get the lumbar spine. I then lift myself up, and then I rotate myself round. And then I hold that position. So I'm using that. If you're a little bit more kyphotic, which means you're sort of rounded here, it's just a case of using this to push you up. So again, it's going to take a lot of mental effort and muscle energy to do it, but that's the kind of work that needs to be done to overcome that scoliotic or kyphotic posture. So it's very much focusing it in that way. Now, as I mentioned in part number one, this is going to be individual and specific to you. All I can do is give you those principles. So if we use another scenario, it's the same thing. We've got a rounding here, but this time I'm going to drop to the left and then rotate to the right. So again, what I need to do, starting at the bottom, I need to get that position of the lumbar spine. What I then need to do is I need to pick myself up. So I'm now, I'm more upright, but I'm still rotated. And then the final one is just to push myself back and rotate myself that way. Now, if you find when you sort of rotate or you do any movement and you sort of come off the seat, so I might be now weight shifting onto this side, I need to place that back down and keep that anchored there and anchored there. So all I'm focusing on doing is trying to line up those blocks. As I mentioned, the hips should mostly be out of the equation because we're sat down. When we do the standing one, that's what sorts that one out. What we can then do, now that we've got part one and part two in sort of, let's just say, separate tutorials, which they are, we can then mash them together so we can then work on all four of them. At the moment, I've broken up bottom block, which is the most important one, and then blocks 2, 3, and 4. What we need to be focusing on is bringing them all together at the same time. So what we can now do is if you want to then come up into the standing position, we can go through the 4 movements of the hip and then add the 4 on top whilst anchoring ourselves with the stick here. So to summarise part 2, what we focused on are the blocks 2, 3 and 4. Block 1 is taken out when we sit down as long as we've got even weight shift and we've got a level pelvis. That should be easier to get because we're sat down and certain muscles are relaxing. So it should be easier to find. But what we've got to focus on is blocks 2, 3 and 4 in the sagittal plane, which is forwards and back. So we need to create that natural lumbar curve. Then we need to pick up either, if we're dropping to the right, we need to pick that up, or if dropping to the left, we need to pick that up. Then you might have a rotation, which you then need to bring back round. Now, the rotation could be anywhere. I've given 2 examples in this video. There could be many more. It might not be exactly like your scoliosis. It might be slightly more extreme, or it might be slightly less extreme. This is the bit that you're going to need to figure out for yourself. But essentially, we sort out block 1, which is what we did in part 1. We then worked on parts 2, 3 and 4, and we did that in the sagittal front and back, frontal left and right, and then transverse, which is the rotational plane. So we sort those out, and essentially we are trying to sit up straight. So that is again, if I could summarize it in one sentence, that's what you're trying to do, is sit yourself up straight, using the stick to be able to anchor yourself and be able to help move you into that position. But as you do move, make sure you've got even weight distribution through the hips as you're sat down, so you're not, as you rotate up, you're not pulling your hip up off the seat either. You need to keep that even distribution through the hip as you pick up through. So you're elongating the spine and bringing it into a better posture. So hopefully that's been helpful. Hopefully it's given you a better idea of things you can start doing to be able to correct your scoliosis. Again, if you have any comments and questions and feedback, stick it in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris, Christopher Hall Training. I'll speak to you in the next tutorial.